news comes out. This is kind of an interesting spot, though. Sucks, it's right before news. I'd probably take it. I'm not getting caught in some crazy 50-point wick to the downside or whatever. So.
Minus 4.8%, minus 4.8% as expected. Core durable goods revised 0.2% as expected. US durable goods revised minus 9.4%, minus 9.4%, and the forecast of minus 9.3%. We've seen the revisions for factory orders prior revised 8.3% from the original prior 8.2%.
What do we think? No pullbacks allowed. Well, if your daughter wants to swim, that means you gotta take her.
Dow Jones up 1%.
Jason, good morning. Welcome to the stream. E-Mini, good morning. Paul, welcome, guys. Cut a couple of trades this morning, nothing crazy. I do kind of like the distribution that's forming up here by this point of control in the higher time frame. I might take a little size up here, give it a little room, risk my profits a little bit. Go for the bigger trade. So we're forming a distribution up here. Maybe we can get back to the point of control at 218. It's a good, that would be a good move. Let's this thing go straight up. Does feel like the momentum has waned a little bit, unless they're loading up to bring this thing higher.
Just to let you know, the US factory orders June 2025 final report is on the thing for you guys for those interested.
Have a bit short at 51. Stops at break even. Stopped out, break even. Come on. Oh, we've been at the same price level for 15 minutes. That's kind of a good sign. We're slowing down here. We might get some tradable levels, but looks like it wants to go higher, doesn't it? I don't know why my tick strike keeps dying. Anybody else having trouble with tick strike? Just keeps turning off. I have to keep closing it and reloading it. This thing is in such a tight range, man. It's crazy how it can rally by 200 points and then stop and stay within like 10 points. Okay, I'm short at 48 with 2. Took one off. Stop at break even at 48 and 3/4. We have a low volume node here. If we break this, I think we can go down to 220s. I think I'm going to take it. 849. So we have a low volume node right here. That's the reason I took it. I don't know if we're going to break this or not. And we have upper band. So this could be the long.
Ready to choose Japan proposal for next generation frigates.
Yeah, on the intraday chart, Anderson, we are in price discovery. Yes. On the higher time frame, we are trading in a big distribution. On the really high time frame, I mean like going back a couple weeks, we're still in a range. So intraday, this is price discovery. do like 190s again as like a back test. That's going to be RTH. So we have a bunch of stuff at 190. Could be the interesting place to go long. Kind of went to this point of control here. This could be the back test of the upper band. CW2, if you stick around, I'd happily do that a little later. We're kind of in the heat of trading right here, so I have a lot of videos on it too. But I will certainly do it once trading slows down. Nice, Bryce. Do not subject it to your gunslinger mentality. I like that. Process, patience. And to be honest, we don't have great setups. This is when it goes straight up like this is really hard. I think. This is like, you know, I've been able to get some good scalps at decent levels, but I have a really hard time trusting them. You know, the best long spot is going to be 190, and we're just not selling off, right? They could do this for the next hour or more. Looks like a bit of a back test there, doesn't it? All right, so let's see if we can get a little bit of a return to value on the RTH VWAP. Add one there. Man. Is this thing gunning for highs? That's the question. I'd like to see this thing come back down to the 20s, but we'll see. This thing is rip roaring. The good part is it's spent the better half of the last 25 minutes at this price level and this distribution we're forming up here. So do we get another leg up? I don't know. We're already up, what, spot? I can't see. Spot 6. Back to test those highs. This could be our new value area. So it could just be rejecting at the value area high there. NQ has formed a decent distribution up here. Gumball, the reason I didn't take that long is because I just took the higher time frame short. And I won on that trade. It's hard for me to go right back and dip into another trade. I like to usually take a little break between trades so I don't get so just trade to trade to trade. I just took a higher time frame trade. But that was absolutely a decent setup. It's, you know, it's a tough one because it's so early. The regular trading hours VWAP is still fairly young, right? We just opened 40 minutes ago. So it's not that much data. It's not like the session VWAP that has hours and hours of data in it. Hey, Chris, planning to go with tick strike. Can you let us know if that tool? I find it really helpful, tick strike, when it's working. It's been having a little issue today, but for the most part, it works. I am Adam. Hello, a buddy brought you to my attention. Good, glad you guys are here. Hope you learn a lot. Spartan, I already covered that. Violet Fiber, hey mate, new to this trading, came across Warrior Trading a while back. Saw that you like shorting the small cap stocks. I did. I don't do that anymore. Are you associated with them or do you own? I'm no longer associated with Warrior Trading. No. Nor do I trade small caps anymore. But I love those guys. I think Ross Cameron is awesome. I think he's a great dude. Great trader. GC's having a bit of a sell-off here. We're at point of control on NQ. And the volatility really died on this thing, huh? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, JP. Yeah, probably not the best mindset to be trading in. Let's try and higher. So in the edge of this value area starts around 280. So 282, yeah, 280. Might get a little bit of a retracement here, or we could just continue to go sideways. Looks like they're trying to push through this level, but they're having trouble. So we might get a flush before it does so. So they can load up some shorts, flush out some longs, and bring it higher. We'll see. I mean, shorting small caps is a very difficult strategy because small caps aren't easy to borrow, so you have to pay to short them. So if you're going to use any size, you could be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in the hole before you even take the trade because you have to pay to borrow the shares to short. And then unlike longs, where the worst that could happen is price goes to zero, in a short on small caps, that thing can go from $5 to $20 in an hour. So it's very risky. You make a lot of money, but also very risky. I did make a lot of money, but I also like sleeping at night and not dreading trading each day, wondering if this is the day that I get squeezed out for another $30,000. For this short to work out for my favor here, it's not that far from my profit target. My profit target's at 24. Can we get some continuation, hopefully to the downside? I'm in the green. Am I getting greedy? Probably. Took one off. Two off. Up 1,000. I'll hold for the remainder. a little lower. This is a low volume node right here. We could break this node, or at least flush it. Go to that point of control here. This is where my profit target, well, my profit target's above it. Oh man, come on buyers, just let it retrace just a little bit for once. Stay out. All right, let's break even on my third contract. Was up so nicely too. I mean, it really looks like it wants to break this level. Market got so sleepy so fast. Yeah, yes, breaking highs there. Yep, I see it. Or at least testing highs.
German bonds extend gains. 10-year yields fall 5 basis points to 2.63%.
All right, we have an initial balance. $10.30. Nice. All right. 1500. I think I might stop here on these anyway. There's no volatility, so it seems like just scalping to the long side is gonna pay more. But a lot of sellers kind of stepped in there at 10:30. I should have held that one. That would have put me up 2K. Wish we had more setups. We're back at that low volume node. If it breaks it, we can get down to that 200 level. Seems like a good place for a long. So far, any little dip has been rewarded if you buy it. Is it going to continue to do that? Barack Obama has entered the chat. You no longer use initial balance. Why do you say that? The initial balance is on my screen. Of course I use the initial balance. This is an opportunity to get back in, I think. Yeah, very slow. Gold had a nice price discovery continuation if anybody was watching gold. That was pretty. All right, I think I'm going to switch over to something else. Done with this for now. It's very slow. I'll be right back. Yep, we've been chopping in the same range since 9:55. But the higher lows are kind of indicative of a breakout to the upside here at this level. Let's see if we get it. Oh gosh. Nice. Who, me? I'm not hiding anything. What do you want to see? There's trade of 8. Hide P&L. Huh. Am I right on goal? Chris, can you over GC as I am long bias on IB high? Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's kind of getting a little bit of an anemic bounce here. But this could be just a minor pullback in the bigger trend. You know, that might have been the move already, right? Because let's see, we're forming a distribution up here now. So let's drop a volume profile. Right, so yeah, I mean, it's a good trade. We have to get over this volume node here. This is going to be the next level, and then obviously we can get back up to here. But if we can't get by this is the low volume area. That's where it retraced. What P&L do you want to see, Werner? I don't understand. You want to see this one too? $2,144. Is that good? So Matrix, it's hard to say. It's got to get up so far. I mean, that was a natural profit taking spot because of the low volume area. If you caught the IB high and upper band, but it bounced off of it. Now it's going to retest. It could bounce again. And if it failed, it can go down to 427, which I would probably expect that to hold because that's the value area low on this distribution. Locking myself out of these accounts. Here comes a sell-off finally. Now, how much does it pull back is the question. Because we've already just broken upper band. 200 is probably, I like 200 better, like I was saying. As the long spot. kind of bounced on RTH there, didn't it? Bob asked, how close are we from getting the new chart set up? You mean on the trading view, like the tools? It should be this week or next. Hey, VDT, welcome. Joel, what time do you put in the IB if you live in Dubai? It stays the same. Joel, depending on, I have the cheat sheet in my Discord. Grab that. Okay, CW2, it's a little slow, so I'm happy to go over some of these charts. What exactly was your question, CW2? The volume. So are you talking about the volume profile? Yep. Okay. So, low volume nodes act as support and resistance. This is a anchored volume profile anchored to the open, same time as the initial balance. So low volume nodes, really low volume areas, these valleys, these tend to act as support and resistance. And the high volume nodes act as good profit targets, and they tend to be chop zones. So price tends to rotate around them while the volume remains, the low volume remains support and resistance. If it breaks down, you can expect to rotate in the next one. I have a whole video on that. Let me make sure you get that so you can watch that if you haven't yet. Look at that. Buyers have entered the chat, guys. That was the long spot. RTH VWAP. Now, is that it? That felt like a little bit of a squeeze, to be honest. Short at 45, but this is the back test of the RTH upper band. There we go. Filled 1, filled 2, filled 3, filled 4. All done. 895. So that was the back test. Fade value extreme short off of the RTH upper band here. The cumulative delta, kind of just said a little bit of somebody was either covering or maybe a little bit of a squeeze. Everybody who bought there just got flushed. The consistency rule, I just I make sure I don't make too much money in one session.
Massive amounts of Russian oil. They are
So I'm in line with the
much
consistency
more
rule.
inclined to
All right,
sell
there's
it,
RTH.
selling it onto the open market for big profits. They don't care how much. They don't care how many people in Ukraine are being killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the US. Thank you for your attention. So again, the key point there, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the US. So no figure given by Trump there.
Come on now. Beauty. 15 hunch. All right, done on this count. Now we're going to go over to top one. That was a back test of the upper band. RTH upper band. Regular trading hours VWAP. So if we took away the session, hold on. If we took away the session VWAP here, let's take away all of this. And let's add so you can see this. Regular trading hours VWAP. The short was right here. And the long was there. Fading value are extremes. And if we drop down to the 1 minute, you can see it a little better. To the tick. To the tick. You see that, Mo? Yep. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to finish this Top Step Trader account. I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to trade my top one account. Back on top. I'm back on the top one wagon here. So next level could be 157. We do have this low volume node, value area high, value area low that we've formed in the okay. All right, we're heading into the top of the 11 o'clock hours. Yeah, gold is back at the value area low on the regular trading hours. That's interesting for sure. I don't like that it failed IB. High. That's not. you know, terribly bullish. And that's quite the wick on the hourly. But it could definitely find some support here, Burn. I'm kind of with you on that. I'd like to see it reclaim this 29 level first before I bought it. But you guys trade your own, pick your own trades. All right. Oil's picking up some steam here too. Yep. ES very much in a balanced market up here, right? We had that big run up and now we're just in balance. What? Okay, starting from zero. See what we get. Not yet, Jen. You have to use Trading View essentially. So we do get kind of get to the level I liked. $40. See how it performs down here. This is kind of the spot. Well, that was easy. Ba-boom. Done on this account. Sorry, you know, sometimes it happens really fast, guys. Sunny, that's a great question. So Sunny's asking, since regular trading hours VWAP isn't on my chart normally, when do you decide to look at it? When we're not at really close to any session levels on a big trend day, or when we have a big move. That's generally where I'll add it. So because it'll respect that instead of the session, because the session levels are really far off, because we had like a 300-point move in like 20 minutes or whatever. So it gives us some additional levels to look at because the levels are so far apart.
ChatGPT sees active users rising to 700 million.
Normally happens when we have a big move out of the open, up or down. Correct. That's correct. It's a anchored VWAP to the open. Yep. So it's this black one right here. I use different colors so you can see it. It's a black VWAP with gray bands and a gray shading to it, so you can tell the difference, which is which. And you can just find that in the drawing tools.
Just to reiterate, Klingbeil in Washington says that positive.
So we really, you know, we hit the level I was watching. Guys, that's what that trade was, right? We back tested this low volume node I have on the higher time frame. I hope that trade wasn't too fast. Yeah, it was pretty fast. Just under 10 seconds. Oh well. Not for top one, it's not. Top one doesn't like sub 10-second trades. Hop Step doesn't care. Maybe they'll give me a mulligan on this one. As long as it's not half of your trades, I think, is generally their rule of thumb. You don't want half of your trades or more, or of your profits, being sub 10-second trades. So. Bryce says, I took 3 trades on my combine this morning and my emotions were all over the place as soon as I entered those trades. Crazy what the brains can do. Yeah, absolutely is crazy. The mind is a powerful thing. But also, the more, the larger size you use and the bigger the swings in your PL, the more emotional you can get. So that trade that I just took that kind of nailed it really fast, that was my high conviction long spot. I was just looking for the reaction and we got it. Happened even faster than I anticipated. But I was watching, we have the value area low on this distribution we created since the open. right? We also have this level I marked out,
Security is important.
this gray line, right? I marked that out when we first started trading. This is a low volume node on the volume profile, the composite, for the last couple of weeks. So I know this is a big inflection level, and now that volume is dissipating a little bit, I would expect this to hold up a little better in these environments. So that's what happened. 1 micro. Huh? Yeah. The open, big time saying, you know, he doesn't trade well in the first hour, and only one setup is confident in, but the IB area is set. I am good. How can I be better at the open? The open is really tough. I would practice the open in a simulator to try and get better at it. But unless there's an obvious trade, I don't take any trades at the open usually. I waited quite a while, I think, today to take a trade at the open.
Bill says we will address quotas for steel industry with Besson.
So I recommend, if you're going to try to get better at the open, to trade it in a simulator and practice.
Bill says it's positive that there's a deal, but there's a lot to clarify with the US.
Our listings, I must say, your book was great. I got it from Amazon. Do you ever use 30-minute volume profile, or do you just use 1 hour? So our listing, it doesn't matter whether it's the 30-minute or the hourly. You'll get the same levels and the same
the government has the responsibility of
profile.
Problems.
The only thing that matters is where you anchor it to, not what time frame you're on. So 1 hour allows me to see more data. That's the only reason. But the profile should stay exactly the same, regardless of time frame. The only thing that matters is where you anchor it from. That's going to change the profile.
Bill says, Descent and I have been in constant communication, and I want to have a good relationship.
So I had a good trading day. Let's do a little check-in, everybody. How's everybody trading today? Looks like Trump is talking about raising the tariff paid by India to the US. I'm assuming that's because he's accusing India of funding Russia's war against Ukraine by purchasing their oils, which is a violation of sanctions, global sanctions.
US natural gas futures.
Nice, Norm.
To $2.93.
Norm's up 175. David's green. Hell gives himself a B minus. I'll take a B minus. A plus on gold. Says Gary. Good job, Gary. Green but small. All right. Bob Burner's up over $1,000. Good job, Bob. McBlend, $540 times 3 accounts. That's over $1,500, almost $1,600. D-Bomb 1 for 1. All right. On demo, break even. Perfect. Zalos is up $400 in profit, reached unfunded, red on cash. I'm sure you would prefer it to be the opposite, but here we are. E-mini trader is green. Tamara, swinging for the fences, huh? Tamara's up 1,600 in a Buell Knox, 1,300 in her second Buell Knox, and almost $1,000 in your cash account. Killing it, Tamara. Good work. Mike Horton's up 1,500. Everybody's doing well. Good to hear. I think we've had some good manageable price action, which is nice. You know, if you kind of avoided shorting that big move in the open, unless you took some like quick scalps. We had a range to work with. So, you know, you didn't really get caught off sides too much. Then we started catching shorts as we entered value on the regular trading hours, and then now we're at the session. But we've built a very clear distribution up here. We have two peaks with a high volume node right in the middle. So, you know, we're going to want to watch this. We reclaim this level, this 247. I think we can go back up to, no, not 247, 229, 227-ish, 228. I think we can go back to 247. That's a 20-point gain if we break above that. I'll be right back. Dan's got 56 points. Assuming that's NQ points. Anthony, I'm a bear like you. Yep. Shorted the big move at the open, but dug myself out of the hole good. That bounce on RTH got me into the green. 500 after commissions. Good job. More than halfway through your book and really enjoying it. Awesome, Anthony.
Fed bids for 3-month bills totaling $4.6 billion. Fed bids for 6-month bills totaling $4.1 billion.
It's going to be a bit of a bull flag on the higher time frames.
US spot collision or copper import in Federal Register.
All right, well, I'm done trading in my accounts, guys. Did really well across 3 accounts. So I'm just going to switch over to a practice account. I'll continue to take some trades. It's tempting the long here. I don't think this market wants to give up much more. Sweet. So this is a fade value area extreme area on the volume profile in the RTH. Right? It's going to, based on our VWAP principles, this thing is going to hold until it doesn't, right? We're going to assume this is going to hold. Next level, 180. IB mid. I'll pick up some longs there. Steven, how was swimming with the daughter? Depending on time frame we're looking at, Anderson. You know, we're pretty much in balance on many time frames now. We've been in this area for the last, over an hour. We're just kind of expanding the distribution a little bit. We might get a little bit of a flush here, so I'd be careful. You don't know how far the flush can go. So far, still holding up. If I hear the bulls come back in,
10 minutes away from the bottom of the average of these 6 month and 3 month.
tick strike starts lighting up to the bullish side, I'll probably go long.
2.35% prime bid cutoff, 3 spot 2.1, 6 month bill prior high yield of 4 spot 1.2%, and a prime bid cutoff 3 spot 3.6. The US is looking to sell $82 billion in 3 month bills and $73 billion in 6 month bills.
All right. Glad this happened in my practice account. Comes the flush. Seems like the selling's being bought up, but probably get some excess price to the downside here. I got my stop right below that swing low at 87. See if it holds. Here she goes. Yo, do you have a Y plan form? I don't know what that means. Will you offer my book in other languages? I don't know. I haven't really thought about that yet. The book did just come out, a little over a month ago, so we're still focusing on the English version. But if you bought the ebook, you could probably have that translated by AI, I would imagine. I don't know.
Is going to give the 3-month and 6-month bill auction data. 3-month bill prior high yield of 4.235%, prior peak cover 3.21.
Well, value area low held again.
2%, prior peak cover 3.36.
Now we're not getting huge moves, but that was the spot. Sam says I found some value in moving a fixed range volume profile during the open session, basically trailing the market. I can understand that. As you get better at reading it, Sam, you'll be able to visualize what it's telling you on the trailing, because it's just gonna, you just can visualize where the value area highs and lows are as the day develops. So I know what you're saying, and I know why you're doing it, and I get it. And I think as you progress with reading the volume profile, I think you'll find it unnecessary to trail it, because you can see it. It gives you the information on the entire session. You're not going to get the value area high and value area low levels, but you can pretty much identify where they are on each distribution. But that's a great point. Oh yeah, that would have been a nice short on oil there, Sonny. Oscar, do you use regular trading hours or volume profile? Or I use both. So the left side of my chart here, this is the entire session, including the Globex hours. Top right, I'm using a regular trading hours volume profile. So I have both. This volume profile right here is anchored to the open. And this one is the entire session. It's a great long spot for anybody who grabbed it. Anybody grab that value area low on the profile? Nice, Anthony. Good work. Job, JP. Hi, Chris. Greetings from Italia. I just bought your book and I'm reading it. I have a question. Have you ever thought about using range bars instead of candlesticks? I have. I've used range bars, ticks charts. The thing about these tools we use, Maurizio, the volume profile, the IB high, IB low, VWAP, the levels stay the same. So whether you're using range bars or 5-minute chart candles or 15-minute candlesticks or tick charts, the price levels are actually all the same. So if range bars help you visualize price action better, then go for it. But it fundamentally doesn't change the nature of the system whatsoever because all the price levels stay the same. Now, if you're using range bars, so we have to anchor our tools. We anchor the VWAP to certain spots. Range bars will make it more difficult for you to anchor it to the open, for example, or the futures open, or, you know, those type of things. Because range bars don't give you that exact time start.
3 months, that's 6 months good auction data.
But good question. And thank you for the support. Thank you to everybody who has purchased the book. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoyed the book, I would love a review. If you guys could leave an Amazon review, that really helps. And I think we're number 4 in all of futures books. Best-selling futures books right now. We're like number 4. Let's take a look, actually. Ah, it's number 5 today. Amazon bestsellers, number 5 in futures trading. What's fun of you is that most of these aren't even futures books. Like this isn't a futures book. 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 Thank you, Oscar. Appreciate it. Not yet, but aren't there tools, guys, that like you can just have the book be read by like AI or whatever for free? Elevate 11, I heard Elevate AI. You can just drop your book into there and it reads it nicely. I'll probably have that done, I guess. My value area low currently at NQ on the RTH is 194, I think. Yeah, 194 and 3/4. Right here. which also lines up with the low volume node on the composite.
Premium fill, high yield of 4.165%, and bid cover 3.17%. And awarding a 28.41% bids at high and selling $87 billion. US 6-month bills with a high rate of 3.98% and bid cover.
Oscar, that's really, when people say it's like the best trading book they've read, that really is a compliment that kind of really, I'm flattered, really. I mean, I did put a lot of work and passion into that book. When people say stuff like that, it makes me feel like, wow, maybe we're accomplishing something really cool here. So we do have this low volume node here at 28, right? So we're pretty much trading this distribution now. And until we break out of it, we can get this, or this, or this. Those are kind of the scenarios I see right now. You could also do this. Awesome, Anthony. I really appreciate it. It's funny because I'd give, a couple of my friends have, but they're not like traders or anything, but maybe they have some like basic understanding of the market and they don't understand it at all. So it's clearly not like a beginner's trading book. It's for people that have a solid foundation of trading. And I think that's who really appreciates the book. And that's who it was ultimately written for. Rodrigo, that's the regular trading hours, right? Even though it's on the left-hand side of the screen, it starts at 9:30. Open. I know. Sorry, Carlos. My wife made me do a whole bunch of stuff this weekend. Plus, I worked on a bunch of video content. I didn't have all that much time. Took my son to the soccer game, all this stuff. The game was awesome. We had so much fun. And it was a tie game, 2-2. Messi got injured in the first half, which kind of sucked, but it was 2-2, and the league rules were penalty shots, 5-5 penalty shots to determine the winner. It was awesome, so good. Yeah, it was really exciting. We had a really good time. My 80-year-old father loved it. He comes to all of my son's soccer games, every single one. This could be the next wave up. It's happening very slow, right? So it's starting to look like this. No, cool. It's a anchored volume profile. It's in the drawing tools. All right, guys, we're coming in here the last 20 minutes here. I'm happy to ask any more questions. I'm obviously done trading. Gold is still in a distribution, as is NQ. NES trading completely sideways after a big move up. We've got a lot of great trades on it. Gave us some nice opportunities to scalp. I'm finishing up over $1,000 in my take profit trader account, over $1,000 in my top one account, and over $2,000 in my top step accounts. So good day for me. I'll stick around for another 10 minutes or so if anybody wants to ask any questions. Only to you, Eric. Actually, if you must know, I've been told my entire life, especially by females, that I have very nice feet for a man. So if you really must know. Carlos, my favorite is Top Step, which unfortunately I can't affiliate for, but Top Step is my favorite. I like, they're just no nonsense. They're so easy. There's no real rules. None of that nonsense. Can't hold a trade for this short or long or consistency. I mean, there is a consistency rule, but like it's very, very simple. And they don't beat you up over your trading strategies and stuff like that. So nice, Norm. Good work. Eric was asking David, so tell Eric, not me. Top one has it, but it's not just like any under 10-second rule, Neo. It's half of your trades and your profitable trades can't be under 10 seconds. So you can have 10-second scalps. Just it can't be more than half of your trades. Like it shouldn't be like every trade is like 6 seconds. You know, they happen and they know that. So they're not like crazy about it, but they don't want like people using bots that take advantage of the simulated environment. That's essentially why. Marito, I don't really use the previous day's VWAP levels for the most part. I will keep an eye on them, but they're not hugely important to me. I think more so that's important is previous weeks and months and the higher time frame. But they absolutely can be valid levels. I'm not going to say they're unimportant. There's just I look at so much already, and that if you want to keep an eye on them, absolutely do so. Isabel, I've been struggling with my trades lately and I found your channel. Your system resonates with me. I applied what I learned and made around $600 trading micros. Thank you. I just ordered your book. Awesome, Isabel. Great to have you here. We're here every morning, so come join us. Participate. I love the participation. Makes it more interesting for me, too. When wouldn't you fade a balanced market? News, I guess. News coming would be the only reason we wouldn't, or some weird thing happening in the market where price action is just extremely abnormal and volatile. But for the most part, based on the VWAP wave principles, we're going to assume a balanced market is going to stay in balance until it doesn't, right? So we don't guess when we're going to leave balance. We trade balance until we leave balance, and then we adapt. And that's principle 2 of the VWAP wave system in the core setup guide. So it's a great question. Outside of any news drops or wild conditions, which we do get, especially in April. Sunny, it is. Yep. I do watch the news every single night and every single morning, actually. Both my local news and first of all, I like to be informed. I like to be a well-informed individual, both the local level and the global level. And it does inform my trading, but it does, I try not to let it give me bias because, as we know, these guys saw when we bombed Iran, right? We took out the nuclear facilities. I was like, oh, the market's going to go down. And we gapped down and I shorted the hell out of it and it just ripped against me. So I try not to bring my bias. I just want to know what's going on and be aware of what type of volatility I can expect and try to fit that into my narrative. Yep, I think if value area low fails here, I think we'll go to the lower band here. That would be our next obvious level because we have two things. We have a bit of a high volume node and we have the lower band on the regular trading hours. And then next stop would be session VWAP and we have another node on the volume profile. We also have this IV mid. I'm not entirely sure that this is going to go down a whole lot. We have monthly VWAP at around 145. It's like right around here. So this is a solid level. Also coincides with weekly VWAP upper band. Monthly VWAP upper band, sorry. Correct. So when I say distribution, I'm talking about these. These are distributions, high volume nodes. I like distribution because that's the math. This is a normal distribution, has its own point of control. 70% of a normal distribution is right here, and then we have the outliers and excess. Right? So that's more of the math term for my statistics nerds. All right, let's take a look at ES. $63.32. Yes, absolutely. It's almost a no volume node, actually. That's also IB mid. So yeah, Texas. I'm with you on that. Rodrigo, I tend to trade minis, but I recommend you guys start with micros for sure. With any new system that you're learning and attempting, you should start with lower risk. Absolutely. Leonardo says, hi Chris, saw one of your videos that you also use NinjaTrader. I do. All these charts here are NinjaTrader. Will you be willing to share your templates you use? Yeah, I have shared them. They're somewhere around here, but absolutely. They're nothing. They're really nothing. It's just the VWAP and volume profile. That's all I have. They're all 5-minute charts with a VWAP with 1 and 2 standard deviation bands, session VWAPs, and a volume profile anchored to the regular trading hours open for each. That's all it is. So you can build one relatively easy and quickly. It's also in this video. We got a lot of people in the room today, don't we? All right, it's this video. I got a lot of great feedback on my Dom scalping video. People love that one. I think it's interesting that people love that so much. What I find is people love it or hate it, actually. Some people, like, people that love it, like really love it. And then people are like, I don't want to trade like this. This is not how I want to trade. Oh, this is useless to me, blah, blah, blah. And the truth is you can adapt to. All right, Corey, see ya. Yeah, we're done here. Anyway. So you can use Leonardo, go through that video. You'll see how the layouts are on NinjaTrader. You're welcome. Yep, Mustafa very green today. $2,000 in Top Step, $1,000 in Top One, $1,000 in Take Profit. It was a good day. Patient, waited for good setups. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap up here. I appreciate all the great questions. We're going to be back at it tomorrow morning. For you, those of you in the Discord, 9:30 a.m. We'll be live for the open. For those of you on YouTube, we start at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join us in the Discord, there's a free trial in the link of the video. Come join us. There's also an 8-module course available for you guys in there. We do also have the Trading Lounge. A lot of these guys head on over there after I'm done trading. You can share your mics, share your screens, collaborate with other traders trading the system. A lot of people have been using that and really enjoying it. Another great feature of the premium. So enjoy, guys. Good luck trading out there. Manage your risk and stay sharp. You're welcome, Susie. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. See you guys.